For this first exercise, you're going to start with rebalancing the vocal fold closure and waking up the breathing system. Work on steady airflow while stretching the vocal folds. You want to aim to have a medium volume when singing through this and resist the urge to go louder as you go higher. Just focus on clarity and efficient vibration. Another thing you want to focus on is your onset. Try not to blast out air. You want to have a smooth onset anytime you start the exercise. For this exercise, you're going to work on efficient chord closure and steady breath flow. This helps singers have control over their closing muscles so you don't slip into pressing too hard when you hold out a big belty note. Now, when you sing the NG, the back of the tongue is going to touch the soft palate. And the goal is to just focus on your vocal folds stretching and moving through the two different mechanisms of your voice without flipping. If you find yourself flipping, then you want to slow down that area a little bit more and pinpoint if you are too heavy or too thin, or if your chords are coming apart too easily. The goal is to stay connected the entire time you sing through the arpeggio. Exercise number 3 is focusing on strengthening your M1 or chest voice. You want to work on controlling your compression levels as you go higher while also staying in mostly a thicker mechanism. So, reducing the tendency to want to flip anytime you go over that tricky area of your voice that wants to flip. The goal here is to work on your TA muscles, and the TA forms the body of the vocal fold beneath the mucosal cover. A strong TA activation means the body is engaged, giving that dense, efficient closure with less reliance on surface layers alone. So as you go higher, there will be the need to want to press harder and harder and harder. However, you want to work on lessening that compression. If anything, you just want to maintain the same amount of compression even on the higher notes. So when you start out at a medium volume, that is where you are still going to be as you go higher. Exercise number 4 is to work on sustained belting onsets. So you want to start with a clean and smooth onset. And when you start with short notes, you are exercising your closing muscles to open and close on command. And then the second part of the exercise is where you are going to sustain on a single pitch. This is to work on finding that nice balance, not too press and not too loose. This is important for leading roles with long sustaining belts at the end of songs. You don't want to push harder. You don't want to compress harder as you hold out a note. That is just going to tire you out. So when you approach higher notes, you want to maintain its conditions. Therefore, try to sing this entire exercise on every single note on a medium to loud volume, not overly loud. So that effort level is around a 4 or 5. When you sustain that note in your M1, there is going to be this tendency to want to compress harder. The training you must go through is not compressing harder while still keeping your chords close. So as you go through this, you are going to have to find that nice in between. Not too thick, not too thin, the in between, the mix. Wah, wah, wah. this last exercise, it is a cool down reset. You are going to sing on the syllable we on an inverted arpeggio, starting really high at first and then going lower. The whole point of this exercise is to thin your voice down. We're not trying to be overly thick anymore. We're just trying to stretch the chords and going down your vocal range, bringing everything back to neutral, bringing your larynx back to neutral as well. If there's a tendency to start really hard at the beginning, I suggest you restart the exercise and start on a thinner mechanism. Now, please understand, thinner mechanism doesn't necessarily mean breathy mechanism. Thinner just means you are singing with a cover of the vocal folds, providing that thinner sound.